This is our last view in the NGC 2449 2400 to 2449 series. It's Galaxy NGC 2449 in Gemini, and it has several neighbors. I am sure one of which is going to pop up in the NGC 2450 to 2499 series. I'm only going to cover the galaxies initially that are above, let's say, 25, maybe 30 degrees north latitude to avoid roof blockage because the hour is advancing. And what hour is it? Well, we just changed to Pacific Daylight Savings Time, 8:43, but normally this would be 7:43 in the evening during the winter. So let's move on. Okay, let's start with this. I think this region of the sky is going to look familiar, although we've only got a couple of stacks so far. We're looking for NGC 2450, a galaxy in Gemini. It's a neighbor of 2449. This one's fainter, however, magnitude 15.5, but 0.9 by 0.2 arc minutes. It's a spire with a lowercase bc, 217 million light years distant, maybe 70,000 light years in diameter or less. RA is 74732 with a declination of plus 27 degrees, 1 minute and 9 seconds. So why don't we push it up to 150x, 100% e-zoom, capturing all the photons we possibly can with the ZWO imager. I suspect this is our magnitude 15.5 photometric galaxy. It's probably somewhere closer because it is a BC to magnitude 15, but that is still a spectacular view for a magnitude 15 galaxy to kick off the NGC 2450 to 2499 series this evening, which is the 8th of March, a Sunday night in 2026. NGC 2452 is a planetary nebula in Puppis. I suspect it's right here. Let's see if it maps pretty well. Take it right up to 150x, capture all those photons, you get the largest scale image. It's magnitude 12.6, small, 22 by 16. We suspected that. And its central star is magnitude 17.5, 9,300 light years distant. RA is 74726 with a declination of minus 27,2007. We've been seeing a lot of magnitude 17.5 stars, and I suspect those are photographic, so who knows what their visual magnitudes really are. Let's assume it's going to be at least 0.5 to 1 magnitude brighter in the visual scale. Okay, I just realized I was supposed to go north, but let's go ahead and take a look at this. Is planetary 2452 and open cluster 2453. In Puppis, magnitude 8.3, 5 minutes in size, 30 stars, brightest is magnitude 9.5, class 1-2, 7,000 light years distant, RA 74735, with a declination of minus 27 degrees, 11 minutes, 42 seconds. As long as we're going north, I'll stick with it, but at some point I'm going to have to break off and just capture the northerly studies. Okay, we are going north in sequence, so no breaking off yet. This is NGC 2454, Galaxy in Gemini. I think we're seeing it right there, nice edgy on. Magnitude 14.5, 0.8 by 0.3 arc minutes, described as simply as a spiral, 222 million light years distant, maybe 60,000 light years diameter. RA 75035, declination plus 16 degrees, 22 minutes, 8 seconds. And I have to remember NGC 2454 because it's liable to go south after this. Okay, remembering 2454 was my last study. And there were a whole lot of galaxies way far north and Lynx after that, plus one skipped. So I have to remember to pick that up. This is NGC 2476, a galaxy in Lynx, magnitude 12.6, 1.4 by 0.8 arc minute, elliptical, 171 million light years distance, so probably 75,000 light years in diameter, our 150x view. RA is 75645 with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 55 minutes, 40 seconds. Let's get a beauty shot on this one at 70% or 105x. NGC 2484 is a galaxy in Lynx, magnitude 13.1, should be apparent in the field, and I believe it's right there. Magnitude 13.1, 0.9 by 0.8 arc minutes. Spiral of the lenticular class, 573 million light years distant, puts this probably at about 190,000 light years in diameter. RA is 758.28 with a declination of plus 37 degrees, 47 minutes, and 11 seconds. Let's press it. Go to our 150x view. It looks like it's got some, I can't have spiral arms that look like that. No, it's 0.9 by 0.1. And drop it back down to our optimal magnification, 105x, and head out. NGC2493 was another galaxy visible right from the get-go, as some have said in the distant past. 105x view in lengths, magnitude 12, 1.9 by 1.9 arc minute, classic size for a magnitude 12 galaxy. Spiral with a bar of the lenticular class, 180 million light years distant, probably 105,000 light years in diameter. RA is 8 hours, yes, 23 seconds, with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 49 minutes, 49 seconds, without too much reflected light onto the field of view. NGC2495 is a faint galaxy, and I believe it's right there in lengths, magnitude 15.2, quite small. 0.4 by 0.2 arc minute spiral with some disturbance in it. 372 million light years distant, so this one's probably somewhere around 30 to 40,000 light years in diameter, but quite intense to be seen at that distance. RA is 8 hours, 33 seconds, with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 50 minutes, and 22 seconds. Probably should push the magnification up. And consult with Steve Gottlieb at adventuresindeepspace.com. Okay, that's it for Northies in the 2450 to 2499 series. We're going to have to drop back down. I believe it was 2454, but we'll check that first. I do believe we covered this one, but let's recover it. It's that nice edge-on spiral, NGC 2454, Galaxy Gemini, magnitude 14.5, 0.8 by 0.3 spiral, 222 million light years distant, RA 750.35 with a declination of plus 16.22.08. And here is 150x view. Another nice star field. We know we're down back in the Milky Way. We're looking for NGC 2455. It's an open cluster in Puppis. Maybe we saw this, maybe we didn't. Magnitude 10.2, 8 arc minutes in size, 50 stars, brightest magnitude 12, class 3.2, 1200 light years distant, RA 749.01, with a declination of minus 21 degrees, 18 minutes, and 6 seconds. NGC 2459 is an open cluster in Canis Minoris, very small, 1.5 arc minutes, 4,200 light years distant. Maybe this, probably that, who knows. AdventuresInDeepSpace.com. RA is 7 hours, 52 minutes, 2 seconds with a declination of plus 9 degrees, 33 minutes, and 26 seconds. Oh boy, this is a beauty. Look at that emissive nebula right in the middle of the field. NGC 2467 is a nebula and open cluster in Puppis. Both their stacks really bring out the contrast, don't they? Collectively, the magnitude is 7.1, 15 arc minutes in size, 50 stars in the cluster, which probably includes these up here. Fewer here because the nebulosity is yet to condense into Bach globules, which then turn into stars, younger stars. We're 4,400 light years distant. RA is 7 hours, 52 minutes, 26 seconds, with a declination deep south, and the sky looks so good. Minus 26 degrees, 26 minutes, and 12 seconds. I wish I could remember this because it would be a nice one to exit at 30-second exposure time. NGC 2467. NGC 2470 is a galaxy in Canis Minoris. Ooh, sweetie. Magnitude 12.7, 2 by 0.6 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase ab, so 1.5 times removed from lenticular, and the total remover is like a CD, so that would be there's OAs too, so it gets very interesting. Probably seven divisions. I have to finger it out. This one's 183 light years distant, 2 by 0.6 arc minutes, magnitude 12.7. Puts it probably around 110,000 light years in diameter. RA is 754.20 with a declination of plus 4 degrees, 27 minutes, 34 seconds. Not quite in the sky's middle third, but boy, are we getting a good view of NGC 2470. Okay, more than halfway home now. We're at 10 minutes, 37 seconds. I mean, some playtime if I can remember 2467 at the end. This is NGC 2478. It's an open cluster in Puppis. The brightest stars are magnitude 5.7, collectively magnitude 4.4, some 30 stars, 30 arc minutes in size, class 3-2, 1600 light years distant. And if you guessed it, this is also a Messier 47. RA is 736.35 with a declination of minus 14 degrees, 29 minutes and 0 seconds. Let's push it up a little bit, glimmering in the golden light of a power line diffraction. Here's a nice little study in contrast. It's another open cluster. This one's 4 magnitudes or so fainter than the NGC 2478. It's an open cluster in Puppis, magnitude 9.6, 7 arc minutes in size, quite small, 45 stars, however, at class 3-1. So stars are very similar brightness but spread out. 5,200 light years distant. RA is 755.06. Wow, that's a big leap. We're almost at 8 hours. Declination minus 1742.36. Maybe it has been mostly 750s series so far. Who knows? I have to check back over my data. Anyway, NGC 2479, open cluster in Puppis. NGC 2480 is a galaxy quite apparent, but it has a very faint neighbor, so let's be clear about this. This one is a galaxy in Gemini, magnitude 13.7. I think we can pick that out. 1.3 by 0.7 arc minutes, spiral with a bar and a lowercase CD. So very distant, however, from... that one has a rather bright core for a lowercase CD. 105 million light years distant, maybe 45,000 light years in diameter. RA is 757.10 with a declination of plus 23 degrees, 46 minutes, 45 seconds. I may have captured this one already, but we're only 13 minutes into this video, roughly, and it makes sense for me to just go ahead and grab stuff, even if I've already grabbed it, until we end up getting with tri blockage or reflected light. And here's a 150x view of NGC 2480 and neighbor. Okay, we didn't have to make much of a leap here to NGC 2481. It's a galaxy in Gemini. I suspect because its magnitude 12.9, it has a 3-to-1 aspect ratio, that this is actually 2481 and this was 2480. Spiral with a lowercase a, 99 million light years distant. So quite small, but it's got its appeal. Somewhere probably around 50,000 light years in diameter. RA is 757.13 with a declination of plus 23 degrees, 46 minutes, and a single second. And here's the optimal view of both galaxies at 105x. NGC 2481 and 82. I'm sorry, that was NGC 2480 and 81. NGC 2482 is an open cluster in Puppis that I've already pre-selected. Well, we must have some clouds rolling in because we got better views than this earlier at minus 24 degrees. This is NGC 2482, an open cluster in Puppis. I don't see any clouds, but I have also no dark adaptation whatsoever due to looking at a screen. This open cluster is magnitude 7.3, 12 arc minutes in size with 40 stars. The brightest are magnitude 10. It's a class 3-1. And because we're not showing many other stars around, it's pretty obvious. Now, it'd be interesting to see it gathering more light from other stars. 4,400 light years distant. That's 10 times that of the Pleiades, which has far more stars, over 500. This only has 40, supposedly. RA is 75512 with a declination of minus 24 degrees, 15 minutes, and 30 seconds. Well, that was very weird because we're further south now. Maybe we were getting some kind of a blockage from a tree limb, maybe the pear tree in the backyard. No partridge in it, by the way. NGC 2483 is an open cluster in Puppis, magnitude 7.6, 10 arc minutes in size, some 30 stars. The brightest are magnitude 9.3, 5,400 light years distant, RA 75539, with a declination of minus 27 degrees, 53 minutes, and 42 seconds. A spectacular stellar region, very difficult to make out the open cluster, but I suspect it's right there. Okay, we would have already reviewed this one. It's far north. It's NGC 2484, Galaxy in Lynx, magnitude 13.1. Looks a little faint for that, but maybe we're getting some reflected light. This is that really distant galaxy, 0.9 by 0.8 arc-minute lenticular spiral, 573 million light years distant, maybe 180,000 light years in diameter. Pretty huge for a lenticular. RA 75828 with a declination of plus 37 degrees, 47 minutes, and 11 seconds. Just pushed it up to 150x, backing back down to the optimal magnification of 105 and heading out once again. NGC 2485 is a galaxy in Canis Minoris with a satellite, probably a geostationary satellite. Remember, we're actually the scope is tracking east to west, or west to east. Here's our galaxy, by the way, I suspect. Has a nice aura around it, but of course it should because it's a magnitude 12.8, NGC 2485 in Canis Minoris. 12.2 magnitude, 1.6 by 1.6 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase a, brightest core, fairly mature, 207 million light years distant, puts it at about 100,000 light years in diameter, maybe 90. RA is 756.48, declination of plus 7 degrees, 28 minutes, and 38 seconds, taking it up to that 100% E-zoom view. 150x, and looking for any texture. And there certainly appears to be something right there, a neighboring galaxy perhaps. NGC 2486, another galaxy in Gemini. Magnitude 13.3, 1.7 by 0.9 arc minutes. 1.7, that's probably this one right here then. I had to really go out of my way, but you never know if the data is correct. I know the mount has some issues. I bought it used. It probably was sold because it didn't do a perfect job of GoTo, but that's fine by me. Spiral of the lowercase a, 1.7 by 0.9 arc minutes, 214 million light years distant, maybe 110,000, 20,000 light years in diameter. RA is 757.56 with a declination of plus 25 degrees, 9 minutes, and 38 seconds. Surely I caught this one earlier, this pair. But I want to check. Go ahead and capture them all anyway. We've got plenty of time. We're only into about 18 and a half minutes right now, and we're up to 2486. So that's our 75, and now our 150x. 75, 105, then our 750x views. Okay, I may have lost it on this one, but I do believe we're now looking at NGC 2486. I don't remember what it was, but the values here, the previous one could have been 2485, but I'll check it and step through in a second. Just in case, 2486, a galaxy in Gemini, magnitude 13.3, 1.7 by 0.9 arc minutes. This one is way too round to be that one. So there may be another one in the field. There's a faint galaxy up there, but that's not it. RA 757.56 with a declination of plus 25 degrees, 0938. And if I press the next button, aha, this galaxy here is NGC 2487, galaxy in Gemini, magnitude 12.5. Makes sense. Larger, 2.7 by 2.1 arc minutes, spiral with a bar and a lowercase b. 222 million light years distant puts this one at about 170,000 light years in diameter. This one's bigger, Messier 31. which, by the way, I learned today has a trillion stars, 5 times as many as our Milky Way. We know who the capital galaxy is based on that, don't we? We're at right ascension 7:58:20 with a declination of plus 25 degrees, 8 minutes and 56 seconds. We may have captured this one previously, but I don't care. We got enough time in this video to do it again. Look at the texture in both of those galaxies, going all the way up to full 150x, 100% e-zoom, using every pixel available. That's NGC 2486 and 2487. NGC 2490 is a galaxy in Gemini. Probably this one. This one looks a little bright, maybe magnitude 14. This is 2490 is supposed to be a compact galaxy of magnitude 15.5, 0.6 by 0.4 arc minutes. It's kind of hard to tell, but I suspect this is you know who you could figure it out with? Steve Gottlieb. He uses reference materials that give very good accuracy for identifying whatever is in the field of view of scopes ranging from naked eye to 48 inches in aperture. You don't hear much of the smaller scopes, though. Mostly they start around 13 inches. As I said, this is a 15.5 magnitude compact galaxy, 303 million light years distant, probably means it's about 70,000 light years in diameter. RA 75917, edging right up against the 8-hour. Declination plus 27 degrees, 4 minutes, 38 seconds, pushing the magnification to the best optimal view at 105x, and then going up to 100% e-zoom. I suspect this is our galaxy, but to be confirmed, adventuresindeepspace.com. NGC 2491 is a galaxy in Canis Minoris. We may have, well, I don't think we caught this one earlier. Magnitude 15.5, very small. 0.3 by 0.2 arc minutes, which means it's probably something like 18 by 12 arc seconds, just doing the math in my head. This is more likely to be a 15.5, but this probably more, and there's some really on the edge galaxies here. Okay, so it's just listed as a spiral. I'm going to just step through. Right ascension is 7 hours, 58 minutes, 27 seconds. With a declination of plus 7 degrees, 58 minutes, 59 seconds. Pressing it all the way up. Scanning the field at higher magnification. Faint, 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 faint. Plus one bright galaxy there and several neighbors. Backing out again to our 105x best view and bailing on NGC 2491. NGC 2492 is a more northerly galaxy. Here's our 75x view. Let's see if we can pick it out. There are several galaxies here, there, and just about everywhere if you look deep enough into space. It's a galaxy in Gemini, magnitude 12.7, 1.1 by 1 arc minutes. So it's going to be the brightest galaxy here, probably that one there. It is a lenticular spiral, so very bright core, yep. 301 million light years distant, puts it at about 90,000 light years in diameter. RA is 75929 with a declination of plus 27 degrees, 1 minute and 33 seconds. Here's our 105x view, and pushing it up because we have time to 150x and then heading out. Aha! We are now getting reflected light, and I'm sure I captured this one earlier. It's NGC 2493, galaxy in Lynx, magnitude 12, 1.9 by 1.9 spiral with a bar of lenticular class, 180 million light years distant, maybe 110,000 light years in diameter. And if I didn't capture it, it's probably this one there. We're at RA 8 hours and 23 seconds with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 49 minutes and 49 seconds. Does bode well for the next series in terms of avoiding roof tri blockage and reflected light if I manage to have a good clear dark sky within the next week. Back south again to a galaxy in Monoceros, NGC 2494. Magnitude 13, 1.9 by 0.7 arc minutes. I think we can make it out. This looks like the proper magnitude, maybe a little fainter than expected. It's a spiral with a bar lenticular A. Look for a bright core. Yes, indeed. 160 million light years distant, smallish, maybe 50,000 light years in diameter. RA 75907, declination minus 38 minutes and 17 seconds, very close to the celestial equator. Okay, more reflected roof tri-light, and I'm sure I captured this one earlier. NGC 2495 Galaxy and Lynx, magnitude 15.2, 0.4 by 0.2 arc minutes, spiral with a D class, which means barely any core whatsoever. 372 million light years distant. That means it's probably somewhere around 40,000 light years in diameter. Why it can be seen at that distance, being so small and of that class? RA is 8 hours, 33 seconds. Declination plus 39 degrees, 50 minutes, and 22 seconds. And let's head out and look earlier in this series to see NGC 2495 in resplendence. NGC 2496 is a galaxy in Canis Minoris, magnitude 12.9. Okay, that kind of qualifies. Let's push it up to 105x. 1.4 by 1.2 arc minutes, a bit small, but it's an elliptical. 430 million light years distant means it's probably larger than Messier 31, maybe 170,000 light years. RA is 758.37 with a declination of plus 8 degrees, 1 minute, and 42 seconds. There's our view of NGC 2496, getting close. Further north, but not too far north to cause any issues with roof tries, we are looking for NGC, once again, 2498, which we probably imaged earlier. Galaxy and Gemini, magnitude 13.4, 1.1 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with a bar lowercase a, so it's going to be distended and have a bright core with that bar and lowercase a. It's 211 million light years distant, so about 70,000 light years in diameter. RA is 759.38 with a declination of plus 24 degrees, 58 minutes, 57 seconds. And given the hour, which is now 8:33 standard time, we're not doing too bad. Our last study of the evening in the NGC 2450 to 2499 series is actually NGC 2499, which we imaged. I don't think we imaged it earlier. It's a little low in the sky. Galaxy and the little dog, Canis Minoris, magnitude 15, 1.1 by 0.7 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar and peculiarities. 437 million light years distant means it's about as large as Messier 31. Now, Messier 31 would be optical magnitude 14.5 at this distance. This is magnitude 15, but it's probably photographic. It's possible that this is pretty much what Messier 31 would look like at 437 million light years, roughly. But in terms of our sky, it's at right ascension 758.51 with a declination of plus 7 degrees, 29 minutes, 33 seconds. We are going to go back to NGC 2467, I believe, for our final view. And I'm going to do a 30-second, hopefully, multi-stacked exposure on Thor's helmet. Let's start with this 5-second view of NGC 2467 at 105x. And let's go up to 10 seconds. Now here's a single stack of a 10-second exposure, adding about 0.8 magnitudes to the effective eyepiece aperture. We just got a third stack. Let's go to 30 seconds. Okay, here's our 30-second exposure. We got one stack. I'm going to pause it and wait for the second stack to mysteriously appear. Okay, we should be seeing a third the second stack at 30 seconds. I am going to pause it and then I'm going to change it to a 60-second exposure. Okay, this is our 60-second exposure. You just saw it pop. I am going to wait for one more stack at 60 seconds, and I'm going to pause and hopefully capture it just before it happens. 60-second exposure. Remember the math? I did the math. I had a great series on NGC2449 last night, showing what various effective aperture scopes, I call it effective equivalent aperture, 2EA, would give. Started with a 4-inch view of 2903, which probably would have eluded Charles Messier and Pierre Méchain at a 4-inch, but was visible, then went on from there, up to about 104 inches effective aperture. That was very, very instructive. The mathematics seemed to hold up pretty good. We have less than 5 seconds now to our next stack, and there it is. We are getting nice round stars, 60-second stack. I'm going to back out slowly. This is our 50% e-zoom or 75x view. That's quite attractive. I'm going to back it out to 40%, and then this one gives a nice view of all the stars. And with that, I am going to say, Carpe Nocturne.